yeah, so considering this is like my first video, I thought I would do something like, I don't know, so you can get to know me a little bit. So I thought I would do the Goth Tag, because that's one that a lot of people seem to do, and yeah. So first one is, how long have you been goth? And that will be, I guess I kind of got into it when I was about 12, but I'd liked sort of the imagery. I kind of wanted to do it from like a younger age, like probably since I was around 9 or 10. Like, there was this shop that what was it? Oh, it was like Etam, but then like the teenage bit was called Tammy, and like they had these jeans where they were like black jeans with like these big flares, and like in the flare bit it was all spiderwebby, and I had some of those with like some little kiddie platforms when I was about 8 or 9, and that was cool. So I kind of always wanted to do it, but like didn't do it properly, so I was about 12, 13. Yeah, but I guess it depends like what you kind of count as becoming goth. Like, is it when you get into the music? Is it when you first dye your hair? I don't know. But yeah, I think about 12. How were you introduced to goth? I don't know. Like, I was always like a really big fan of like Buffy when I was a kid, and I still am. And like I always really thought like the vampires were cool, and I liked Underworld, and it's not really like that goth, but like in Van Helsing, Kate Beckinsale has like corsets and stuff, and she looks really cool. And I was like, I want to have long hair and wear corsets and just, yeah, be cool. I don't really know how I got into it. Like, I remember Marilyn Manson bringing out the Tainted Love video. I don't know how old I was, like whenever that album came out, I guess. And like the goth girl in it looked awesome, and I was like, that's cool. That's cool. Number 3, gothic subgenre would you put yourself in? Again, that's like a difficult one because it kind of changes on a daily basis. Like today, I'm kind of, I don't know, like kind of Morticia, which, you know, that's always cool. But I don't know, because I don't like limiting myself to a specific thing. Like, I think cybergoth looks kind of cool. That might piss off some people, but I like dreads. And then I really like sort of like visual kei type thing, which apparently isn't goth either, which I found out the hard way through some unpleasant people in some comments on a YouTube video who just had a massive go at me. But anyway, I like that because it's like leather and corsets and things like that, which is cool. But yeah, I don't really fit into any specific thing. Like, I guess trad goth's pretty cool as well, but I don't know, I don't like looking the same every day. Like, I pretty much never do the same makeup twice, and yeah, I don't know, I get bored if I was only allowed to look a certain way, so I don't. Number 4, what do you believe to be the basis of the gothic subculture? And again, this seems to be something that people, like, they argue about quite a lot, and I guess there are quite a lot of sort of things that inspired it. I don't know if that's the right word, because there's like poets and artists, and then there's like all the stuff in the 80s with like post-punk, and I just think it's like all of it put together. Yeah, that's probably the easiest way to go about it. I don't know, it's not something that really bothers me because it exists. Maybe I should care. Number 5, what do you dislike about being goth? I don't know if there is anything to dislike. Ooh, maybe how expensive clothes are, because like it's difficult to find cheap goth clothes. But then that's why you do DIY and you customize all your stuff, and yeah. So that's cool, because I guess if you were like a normal type person, you couldn't get away with making a top out of a pair of tights. Like, people might look down on that. So yeah. Number 6. What do your parents think of it? My parents were never really that bothered. Like, my dad has always been like a kind of rock guitarist, so I was brought up listening to a lot of rock music. Ooh, this is not nice light. Ugh. Yeah, I haven't got any lights yet, so I'm just using natural light. Yeah, my parents were pretty cool about it. Because yeah, I was getting into it when I was about sort of 12, 13, and my mum didn't like the music, because the type of music that I got into first was all the loud, lovely, shouty things like who did I like? Ooh, yeah, I really liked Slipknot and Cradle of Filth, and who didn't she like? She's never liked Wednesday 13. Who is? We'll get onto that. But yeah, my mum wasn't as into it, but she didn't mind me looking goth, because like I just wanted to wear like pretty skirts and like nice tops and stuff like that. So she wasn't too fussed, and my dad, he's always just like, yeah, you look cool. So that's not a problem. So yeah, although my mum actually said to me the other day, she's like, a lot of parents wouldn't really tolerate this, because I came home with some like bright green and purple and black dreadfalls in, and she was just, at first she was like, ugh. But then she was like, a lot of parents wouldn't have let you get away with this, and I don't know, I don't like, if someone tells me not to do something, I'm probably gonna try and do it anyway. Like, when I was in school, I did not respect the the uniform at all. Like, I dyed my hair black, and I had like all different coloured extensions. Like, I had pink, purple and blue all at the same time, and I wore makeup, and I wore like this really grotty Avenged Sevenfold hoodie over my uniform all the time, and I was just like, well, I'm cold. And I always had like these stripy arm warmers, the type that you got in Claire's back in 2006, which is like when I bought them. So yeah, my parents weren't too far. Like, that was the question, wasn't it? Parents, how did I get on to school? I don't know. Yeah. Number 7, eyebrows or no eyebrows. Well, as you can see, I have eyebrows. Naturally, I don't have a lot of eyebrows. They probably stop about here, because I overplucked them far too much as a teenager, and they kind of didn't grow back. So yeah, that kind of answers that question. I like the idea of shaving them off, but I don't know, I kind of still like being able to go to Tesco without any makeup on, without looking like a complete alien. Number 8, what is your favourite band? Well, since you asked, it's the Frankenstein Drag Queens from Planet 13, or just like any band that has Wednesday 13 in it, but that's like my favourite of his bands. So I'm gonna go with that one, because yeah, I'm a bit of a rubbish goth. My favourite band is a horror punk band. I do still like goth bands though. Like, my favourite like goth type band is the Sisters of Mercy. So woo! I like the sort of the deep singing voice. I do like 80s goth music. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's cool. Like Susie and the Banshees and like Bauhaus and stuff. But like, I couldn't listen to all of their albums in a row like I could with the Sisters. Like, I could put it on from what's the damn album called? first and last and always. Like through Floodland and then through Vision Thing, and like I wouldn't even notice the time had gone. But I couldn't do that with some other like trad goth type bands. So again, rambly, but yeah. Number 9 is your opinion on Marilyn Manson. I think he's cool, but I guess that I sort of got into goth like kind of once it was okay to like Marilyn Manson. Probably shouldn't be touching the camera while I'm talking. But yeah, like I know sort of in the 90s it wasn't cool to like Marilyn Manson, but yeah. When I got into goth, I didn't know any other goth, so I didn't know any rules. Like I never googled like how to be a goth. I just sort of heard music and I liked it, and he was like one of the, like, not a goth band but like a person who looked like a goth who makes music that I saw, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. And like Hollywood was one of the first albums that I listened to when I was getting into music, I guess. My dad lent it to me and I was just like, this is amazing. So yeah, I like Hollywood, but my favourite album is probably Mechanical Animals, but I also like the Golden Age of Grotesque. And again, this, tangent, this was, do you like Marilyn Manson? And yes I do, although I saw him live with Rob Zombie in 2012. It was quite funny because he sort of knelt down on the ground and he got a bit stuck, and it was like, oh Brian, someone go get him up. Do you need some help there? But yeah, so live I wouldn't say he's like the most amazing thing in the world, but I think he's cool. So yeah, and then the last question is, what were your baby back days like? And again, like, how long are you a baby bat for before you count as being a goth? Is it like, I don't know, how many goth points do you have to get to like reach a higher status? I don't know. But if we're talking about like when I was younger, it was tricky. Like, I didn't have a huge amount of friends in school, and I was the only like goth in my year, or the only person like trying to get into goth. Like I was friends with some people who were really like into punk rock and stuff, and kind of emo-y things like My Chemical Romance, who I was like, no. But yeah, so I wasn't hugely liked, and I don't know, because I always found that sort of goth was something that was very comforting, like the music, and I guess I didn't really want to look like everyone else. I'd never wanted to, and I felt a lot better about myself the more goth I got. Like, there was a time in my life where I was like, the world is going to end if I don't dye my hair black, and like, everything will magically fix itself once my hair is black, and like, obviously that doesn't really work that way, does it? But baby back days, yeah, I don't really know how to answer this question. And just like, school was kind of shit, but I didn't hate going because I liked learning, but the people weren't nice to me. So I guess that's that goth tag done. And it's probably random since like no one really knows who I am, but I've been talking to people on Amino and they said that they wanted me to do some videos. I'll probably do some makeup ones at some point as well, because I am like a qualified makeup artist, like that's what I do. So I'll probably do some makeup-y videos at some point if people maybe make suggestions like, hey, do this, like, I'll do that. So yeah, still pretty new to this, but if you want to hear more from me, then like the video if you liked it, and maybe leave me a comment and subscribe, because that would be nice, and then I can ramble on at you again. Yeah, bye. So I've not really, like... Oh, that's good. That's good. That's a good way to begin this.